I don't know if it is. Maybe not.
Yeah, probably not.
Hey guys, it's Viv
and G.
Welcome to our channel. Welcome back, everyone. If you are new, G wanted to show you where the subscribe button was so you don't miss our videos ever again. It's in that bottom corner right there. So let's get started on today's recap. So we just finished watching episode 5 of The Bachelor with Colton.
And we have 13 girls left. And in this episode, we had 2 one-on-ones and 1 group date. And the first one-on-one we saw was with Heather, the never been kissed girl. And it was so nice to see how all the other girls were so happy for her.
So I was kind of laughing at how happy they were because I felt like they were happy that he wasn't getting any action.
Oh my god, probably.
Because she's never been kissed. I don't know, I know that's messed up, but
yeah.
I feel like...
I just thought it was because they think she's sweet and they like her, so they were like happy for her.
I'm sure they do. But I'm sure they're also thinking, well, he's not even gonna get a kiss.
Yeah, very true.
So the date started with Heather running up to Colton, being like extra excited. And he took her on a boat ride to the floating island.
I thought it was a village or something. A floating? Okay.
Floating, whatever.
Something floating.
Floating place. And they shopped around and whatnot. And so the day part of the day ended with them talking on a dock. And I felt like the conversation got really awkward because I felt like Colton was trying to avoid the kissing conversation.
Yeah.
But it's something that can't be avoided. Like, you have to talk about it.
Yeah, because I mean, every single time he's on one-on-ones or even group dates, like, he's very affectionate with the girls. Like, you know, he's kissing everyone. So it's like, he can't have that part of the date happen.
Right.
So it definitely was throwing things off for him, I feel.
So then we quickly proceed to the night part of the date, and they're having dinner. And finally, at this point in the day, Colton finally decides to bring up the kissing conversation. And Heather starts talking about her past history. There was one part of this conversation that I just couldn't wrap my head around, which was, she was talking about how she's had like relationships, I guess, like very on and off relationships in the past. But there was one in particular that she talked about where she said she was seeing a guy for 8 months.
8 months, okay?
When she said this, again, I'm sorry for saying this, but I was like, gee, I don't think they were seeing each other. I think this was just a man and a woman who were friends, and they just kept hanging out. Like, for 8 months.
And even Colton was kind of taken aback by it, and he was like, wait, so he never tried to kiss you? Like, and she was like, no, well, like, we had talked about it. And it's like, what? Like, I don't know. I mean, he must have, like, at least kissed her on, like, the forehead or something. Like,
yeah.
Because how are you with someone for 8 months and, like, show no affection? Like, lots of hugs.
Lots of hugs.
But to each his own. I mean, it happens, I guess.
Yes. So then, after dinner, Colton takes this beautiful little beach walk with Heather, and G and I are freaking out on the couch.
Oh my God, yes.
Is he gonna kiss her? Is he gonna kiss her? Is he gonna kiss her? And all of a sudden, and like, okay, I'm gonna demonstrate and not be weird, but Colton's like all over Heather, like being super like cute.
I know, and then they did a little spin move,
and I was like, Heather, just look at him, just kiss him, just kiss him. And then all of a sudden, boom, fireworks.
Oh my God. Like, okay, producers. Like,
right, okay, fairy tale
fireworks.
kiss, like epic kiss. And then it happened, and Colton and Heather just locked eyes, and finally she got her first kiss.
Yup. And it wasn't just a kiss. It wasn't a peck. This was like a full makeout session.
It was.
So she definitely went big for her first kiss. And of course, Colton ended up giving her the one-on-one rose.
Yes.
So we go back to the mansion, and we suddenly see Elyse getting all dolled up. And we're like, what's going on?
Right.
Because all the other girls were like in their casual wear and everything. And then we see her go to Colton's hotel room. She was saying that she's just feeling heartbroken. Like, she can't stand seeing the guy that she's dating with all these other women. And she wants more attention. And I get it. of course, if you're dating someone, you do want more attention.
You don't want to share your man.
Yeah. But, like, you signed up for this, and it just clearly is not the path for her. I'm so surprised that she ended up telling him that she can't accept a proposal after just a couple months of dating and not even getting, like, his full attention. So she ended up deciding that this wasn't for her and that she was going to leave. And Colton was really sad about it, but he also didn't really fight for her to stay. Then when she was going home in the van, she was like, oh my God, I feel like I made the biggest mistake. Like, what did I just do?
Yeah. I felt like she instantly regretted it.
Yeah, for sure. And we're really sad because we loved her. She was so beautiful.
So beautiful. She was one of your top 3.
I know. But, yeah, we had to say bye to Elyse tonight.
So the next morning, it looked like Colton was vlogging a little bit, and into the camera he was saying how he ended the perfect night, you know, with Heather getting that first kiss. And then Elyse just put the biggest damper on it, and it really set him back mentally. Like, he's now really fearful of getting hurt, getting rejected at the end. I hope that mindset goes away very quickly.
And doesn't put a damper on the rest of the week.
Correct.
So now with Elyse leaving, that leaves 10 girls for this next group date. And Colton takes the girls through the Thailand jungle. And this is definitely a date I would have not been down for. They're searching for bugs and all this crazy stuff, and then Hannah B ends up eating this, like, gross grub thing. Like,
Colton's holding a snake.
Oh my God, and the snake peed on him.
Honestly, I've never thought about snakes peeing. I didn't know they peed.
Anyways, it definitely was a real down and dirty type of date. And then they split into teams doing this competition, trying to get all these certain items from the jungle. And Katie, Tayshia, and Nicole were lucky enough to be on Colton's team. And Tayshia took full advantage of that.
Yep.
She was kind of directing the other girls, like, oh, you guys go get that. And she was just making out with Colton when she had the chance. And she was really playing the game today.
She was. There were 3 groups on this date. And so one of the groups, Hannah B, Hannah G, and Demi, decided, nope, this isn't for us. We're gonna go find our survival necessities out in the town. So they, like, took a bus, went drinking, got burgers, came back. When the time was up, it was hilarious. Colton was actually really happy that they went out and got food because he was eating one of their burgers.
Yeah, he was like, oh my God, give me that burger. Like, it was so funny. So one of the highlights of the night part of the date was when Hannah B was talking to Colton, and she told him, and I believe this is the first person to tell him this.
Yes.
That she is falling in love with him. And he just had this stupidest little smile on his face, and I think that really helped him kind of get into a better mindset after losing Elyse.
And she got the group date rose. So after that beautiful lovey-dovey moment with Hannah B, we proceed to some of the more dramatic parts of that night. Yes. Apparently before Elyse left, she told Onyeka that she had a conversation with Nicole and how Nicole expressed how she's on The Bachelor for opportunities and how to find opportunities to get out of Miami, which is where she's from. So Onyeka wanted to express that to Colton, so she did. And of course, once again with Colton, 1 step forward, 10 steps back. So Colton is just, like, in shock. He's devastated. He confronts Nicole. Nicole's like, what? No. And at first, I was like, gee, I think she's lying. I think she's here for the wrong reasons.
She, like, initially just started bawling, like, right away. I'm like,
so
what?
Like, maybe she's been caught.
Yeah.
So anyhow, I felt so bad for Colton. So while Nicole is talking to Colton, Onyeka walks back to the group of girls and says exactly what she just told Colton. And Tayshia was like, wait, I was in that conversation with Elyse and Nicole, and that is not what was said. And what Elyse heard, just like the telephone game, I mean, what Elyse interpreted, then told to Onyeka, then told to Colton, it's just downhill. So I feel really bad for Nicole at this point.
And I also kind of feel bad for Onyeka because I think that she really trusted Elyse. And she kind of said that to Colton, like, she was my best friend in the house, like, I trust her, you know who she is.
Right.
So I think she thought maybe she was doing the right thing, and it kind of just blew up in her face.
Yeah.
So then we go to the next one-on-one with Cassie, which I'm so excited
Yes, I was super excited for her.
And her date card read, "Looking for love deeper than the sea." She was so excited for this date, but truthfully, this was like the most boring date ever.
So boring.
So they go to this boat, and they go on this like little island.
Which was not an island. He was like, oh, I found you a private island. It was like a big sandbar.
It really was. And they just made out the whole time.
The whole time.
Like, they have so much chemistry and they're so natural together. And you can really see that through the TV. But that's all they did. They made out the whole time. So the night part of the date, Cassie opens up to him and she brings up the whole virginity thing. And she said that, you know, everyone back home, like extended family and all this stuff, now knowing that she's not a virgin is kind of hard for her. Which I thought was like a little bit weird. Like, I don't know if she was just trying to relate to him or what. But she didn't explain it any further, like saying like, oh, my family's really religious. Like, a lot of people wait till marriage.
Conservative, right?
Yeah, and she didn't say anything like that. She was just like, oh, it's going to be so weird that everyone knows I've had sex. It's like, okay, you're 23 years old. I think they assume that, you know? But I don't think they're like watching me like, oh my God, you're not a virgin. Like,
I would hope they're not judgmental. But
yeah. But that was a little weird, but.
Then they proceeded to Colton's bed and they were just making out under the sheets. Like, just the chemistry these two have is just through the roofs, like insane.
Yeah. And he was like, I am so crazy about you. And that just got her so happy.
Right.
And I feel like that was like his way of saying like, I'm falling for you. She's definitely like number one in his eyes right now. Now we're at the cocktail hour and Tayshia once again pulls Colton. She brings him down to the beach and they have a lantern and they make these wishes.
It was so cute.
Oh, and it went up into the air. It was a really sweet gesture.
Yes. Oh my gosh. All the girls are pulling all the stops tonight.
Yeah.
Demi then pulls him aside and has trust rings for the both of them, which was so cute.
And Sydney had some bamboo drink thing for him.
It was super cute that all the girls were being extra thoughtful with their little time that they had each with Colton. But then we get to Nicole, and she is super concerned with how her group date conversation went with what Onyeka said versus what she said and the opportunity conversation. And so she, went up to Colton and was like, listen, like, none of that was true. If anything, Onyeka has been bullying me, calling me mentally unstable since I've gotten here. So then, of course, Colton's super concerned and just, like, thrown off once again. Pulls Onyeka, has this conversation with Onyeka, and during this conversation, let me just say, Onyeka was rolling her eyes every sentence. Like, I'm like, girl, like, calm down, stop. Like, he's just like, take this conversation seriously. I didn't like the way she was responding to Colton.
She didn't handle it very well. No. And the whole thing is really just stupid to begin with.
Yeah. It's she said, and they weren't even, like, with each other. So, fast forward, he then has a moment with Katie. And during this moment with Katie, Nicole and Onyeka are confronting each other and they're talking, which then led to yelling. And everyone around them heard. The girls were like, what is happening? And then, of course, I felt so bad for Katie and Colton because Colton was like, I gotta be right back. He goes to the yelling conversation between Onyeka and Nicole, and they completely ignored that he came into this conversation. He was like trying to interrupt, and they just kept going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until he was like, you know what? Enough.
Yep. He just got up, left, kind of tried to take a moment to himself. Onyeka went right after him. He was like, okay, no, leave me alone. Then Nicole did the same thing. He was like, no, I gotta go, like, leave me alone. And then they hit us with the to be continued.
Yeah. Of course they would.
So we didn't see any girls go home tonight, but I don't know. Like, do you guys think that he'll send both of them home just because, like, of the drama? I feel like neither of them he has, like, a super connection with, so it's just like, okay, you know what? I don't even care. Goodbye. Like, don't need this.
Unneeded drama.
Yeah.
What do you guys think is going to happen? Like, when we come back next week, is it going to go straight to the rose ceremony? Like, cocktail hour over? Like, what's going to happen?
Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure that you like this video, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell notification so you can see every time that we upload a new video.
Yes, and thank you for staying with us this whole video. There was so much drama, so many things that we had to go over, and we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.